Yeah, so yeah, just before I put on my asshole character for this podcast who gets annoyed at everything you do, I do just want you to know that I love you very much and thank you for being my friend.
Okay, get that sappy shit out of here, Kelvin.
Hello, all you lonely boys out there, and welcome back to Lonely Boy Hour, the only podcast that is actually the Snyder Cut. This is what Zack Snyder had in mind when making that film, was this podcast. I am, of course, your host, Kelvin, aka the Noodle Doodler, who is trying to figure out if that is still a good reference or not. And I am joined
I don't understand it.
With Zoe. I was going to say with Zoe, who probably doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea. It's me, Trash Z.
So, did you watch Justice League?
I don't watch people shows, so if that was not animated, I probably never saw it.
It wasn't. So
Okay.
It was bad, you see.
Okay.
And people
As
are
most
convinced,
DC content is.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder, the guy who directed it, was like, oh yeah, I had a better cut of the movie. And people were convinced by that piece of information to a point where they were like, release the Snyder cut. And I think it's confirmed now that in 2021, next year, they will be releasing the Zack Snyder's cut of the film. I think the logic was, wait, you're telling me that people will go to theaters to see the exact same shitty film again?
Right.
Dude, let's do it. Like, I assume that's the logic.
That had to have been it. It's probably just as terrible, though.
I don't know. I can't think of anything good that Zack Snyder's directed, so I can't think of anything bad either other than Justice League. I'm gonna be honest, but
we're gonna get legal threats for that.
Oh yeah, always with the legal threats.
Always.
Normally I look at our chat. This time I'm just kind of looking at my wave bars on Audacity.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's making me hyper conscious of my volume, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm only hitting that 12 mark. God, a door just opened. Hello?
Oh no, panic!
Hi, Lena.
Panic. I'm averaging out from 18 to 12 in that area, which I think is the Gucci spot, in my opinion.
Hold on, Kelvin.
Okay.
Lena, I'm recording the podcast right now. You're good.
Was she about to play her trumpet or something?
No, she was just talking to me, and I'm like, I can't hear you. I have my headphones in, and I also am picking up your chatter in the background. We might have to start over, Kelvin.
No, we're good. Don't mind me, just over here with my... Oh, shit, you're right.
We're going to have to start over.
Fuck. We're going to have to make this say...
We'll just keep all of that.
Yeah. Here, let's just clap sync now.
All right, great.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, we got to do that. I was late.
One more for safety. 3, 2, 1. Did you do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you? I didn't hear you do it, so we must have been perfectly in sync.
Yeah, it was absolute perfect. If it's not, I'm sorry for this episode. I could not fix how slightly behind you two I was in the Cam Tunis episode. I don't know if anyone noticed.
I did.
But it sounded like everyone was just rushing to answer whatever I said.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because I was off, but any attempts to fix it just made it off in the other direction.
Yeah.
Because he did like 3 clap syncs, and I don't think any of them were perfectly in time.
I feel like there's got to be a more efficient way to sync up our audios than a clap sync.
It's still a clap sync. It's just like clap syncing to a timer versus clap syncing to the end of my count. Like everyone clap at 5 minutes exactly is the kind of idea.
I feel like there's a delay with Discord anyway, so we're never going to be perfectly on sync.
Oh yeah, no, the way I usually tell if we're in sync, and this is why I was behind everyone, was because the way I can tell is if the other people in the chat all clap at once.
Okay.
If I hear everyone else's claps simultaneously, then I know it worked. But if you guys were too slow or too fast after I counted down from 1, then we're just fucked, mate. Like, so side note, I was trying to pre-show today to be a good podcast host because I have been living under a rock since we last recorded the last episode.
Like under a rock is in like news, or under a rock is in like TikTok content?
Both.
Same.
I went on vacation and ignored all social media for like 5 days.
Which is valid. That probably felt really nice, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, no. And then I came back and nothing was better.
Yeah, no, it's not. There's still riots. There's still...
So, yeah, I was looking at like top news stories to talk about on the podcast, and they're all just bad. Like, they're not even like most stories aren't interesting. Like, it's coronavirus. We all know all about that. Twitter literally has a trending section just about COVID-19.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a tab on Twitter. I got some information from like the NPR top stories, but nothing that was like something I felt like we could really have a banter about. And then, I don't know if you noticed, TikTok trending is the absolute pile of garbage. There's nothing there.
Oh, there's nothing. There's something I can talk about from my end.
Oh,
about recent news. So,
is it J.K. Rowling?
No. So
okay, that's all I had. So,
so in Michigan, Juneteenth has been announced as a state holiday, which is a super big deal.
Can you say what that is to me?
You don't know what Juneteenth is?
No, I don't.
That's valid. No, that's valid.
Okay, I was going to say, am I like racist now? What happened?
You should know what Juneteenth is.
Okay, tell me about it.
But it's okay if you don't, because it's a learning experience. And plus, that gives a perfect segue to talk about it. So Juneteenth is June 19th.
Okay.
And it's known as Freedom
3 days
Day.
Before my birthday.
It's known as Freedom Day, and it's a holiday celebrating the Emancipation Proclamation.
Oh.
But
that's
it's not
cool.
It's not recognized as a national holiday. But due to recent, protests and movements, Gretchen in Michigan decided to make it a Michigan holiday. So it's a really big deal.
Get it, Gretchen.
Yeah. So fireworks on Juneteenth.
Yeah. Fireworks on this podcast right now. I still have all the fireworks sound effects from the anniversary episode. I'll just drop those bad boys in. Man,
Yeah.
Epidemic. We're not sponsored, but man, Epidemic sound is such a nice thing to have.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how we get all of our.
I appreciate the sound effects.
Yeah, that's where I get all my music and sound effects is. You can just like pay for a subscription and they'll handle all the licensing fees for you. For all the music and sound effects I use in this, and it's very handy. Speaking
of paid subscriptions, can we talk about SoundCloud again? I feel like I want to talk about it every episode.
Yeah, listen, SoundCloud is bullshit. It is the most, it costs
bullshit.
more than all of our hosting fees combined, and we get like 3 listeners, and I feel bad because I want to take it down, but there are people on SoundCloud listening to this, very few of them. Nothing compared to everywhere. So, like, if you are listening to this on SoundCloud, if you could, like, I think there's a commenting system on SoundCloud. I think we've gotten, like, 2 comments on SoundCloud. If you would be willing to listen to this somewhere else, please let us know.
Yeah. Why are you still on SoundCloud? What, do you listen to SoundCloud rappers? Are you fucking nostalgic for Billie Eilish? Like, why the hell are you on SoundCloud? I listen
to a SoundCloud rapper.
Oh, my God. I'm sure they're on Spotify.
They're not their old shit. Their old shit is not on Spotify.
Well, their old shit's probably not any good.
No, it's fucking bop. Like, I'll fight you.
You can fight me all you want. I'm just saying, yeah. I've perused the SoundCloud app, and from somebody who did graphic design in college, it's a terrible UI system, too.
Fuck, I will fight you.
It's just bad. SoundCloud is trash.
I will...
I'm gonna get legal threats from SoundCloud.
I'm just offended that you said that the guy's old stuff is bad.
Oh, it's probably terrible. I don't even know the guy, and I'm sure it is.
I know the guy personally, which is why I started listening to him. So
well, then you should personally ask him to get off of SoundCloud because it's terrible.
I will ask him permission to play this song in the podcast, but if not, no one's gonna know what you're listening to.
So, say so?
Say so.
I don't care how good this is. I'm not going to change my mind.
I don't care how good this is. So you admit it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's still not good enough for it to be on SoundCloud. It should be on Spotify.
It's not. I don't think it is.
Or Pandora. Or literally any other. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, he didn't post on YouTube. This is a boot. Someone booted it to YouTube. It's not him.
This human needs to catch up with modern times of internet.
I used to work at a restaurant with him. That's how I know him.
You worked at a restaurant? Wait, why don't I know this about you?
I don't know. I guess it just didn't come up. I'm going to stop this song. But I used to work at a restaurant here in Tennessee. It's a chain called The Frothy Monkey.
That is a terrible name.
That was one of my questions in my interview was, hey, so where'd the name come from? And she and the lady who was interviewing me goes, the company's under new ownership now, but the original owner just thought it sounded funny. And I was like, dude, respect. Like,
frothy monkey sounds like a monkey with rabies. I wouldn't want to eat there.
No, it's delicious. It's
Is
not.
it?
It's so they are trying to bridge the gap between being a coffee shop and a restaurant, and it's really interesting.
Oh, froth like cappuccino froth.
Like coffee, yeah.
Oh.
They try to bridge that gap, so they have like during the day you can get like your standard like breakfast like sandwiches and things like that with coffee, and then at night they have like a full bar. The waiters come to you. They have like a different menu that is actually like nice dinners, and like it's such a weird like shift they make.
I appreciate that.
From morning to night, like someone who works both morning and night shifts as like a prep cook and a dishwasher were the two different jobs I had. I was a dishwasher for all of 4 days, I want to say. That's how, because what happened was I needed a job. My roommate worked there, and a dishwasher walked out, and so I'd already had an interview once, but they didn't accept me for front of house, probably because I was awkward.
That's a big mood.
That's fine. It didn't bother me. But then, like later on, my roommate who worked there, the dishwasher had walked out, and the kitchen manager just went, "Hey, does your roommate still need a job?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Have him come in tomorrow." Like.
And so you started working at Frothy Monkey.
Yeah, and then like 4 days later, they needed another prep cook for a shift, and like, do you know how to do like anything cook-wise? And I was like, yeah. So they put me on prep cook, and they're like, do you just want to stay here like at this? And I'm like, yeah.
Do you know how to hold a knife? Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
You're cutting veggies.
Yeah, that's basically...
That's what it felt like, you hearing
yeah,
that.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of different things. It wasn't just, like, dicing. Occasionally it was just, like, cutting strawberries, but a lot of it was, like, they made their own salsa, so you had to make the giant... You had to make, like, a fucking...
It wasn't just cutting strawberries. You cut tomatoes, too.
No, I blended tomatoes, actually.
They didn't even let you cut them. They're just like, put them in the blender.
No, we took like the center out of them.
That's awesome.
Or they made their own mayonnaise. That was exciting. An exciting part of my day was making mayonnaise because it made just the best horrible sound on the planet.
I can imagine.
When you were blending the mayonnaise together, just the worst sound known to man, and I loved it. My morning started every morning with just like I'd get in and I would just make like 5 trays of bacon, and I'd just put them in the oven immediately. Like that's how it started every morning.
I love that. You start your morning with bacon.
Yeah, so yeah, and then we just have a chat. Like in the morning, at first I wasn't the one who did it, but eventually I somehow became like the senior like prep cook after a while because they moved prep cook to hot side. I hope I'm not wrong in thinking they moved him to hot side, and my roommate at that time listens to this podcast, so he'll correct me if that's the case. But like at a certain point, I was just with another one of my roommates ended up as a prep cook there, and so I would like make the list of things we needed to make. And then we would just go through it, and it was things like a pimento cheese was an exciting one for the day because I got to mess with like canned bell peppers, and they felt slimy, and I don't like that. I liked that. I think the most annoying one was just fucking picking grapes off of stems and putting them in a bucket. I hated that.
You just.
Yeah, we just have like bags and bags of grapes, and you just pick them off the stems and put them in the tub.
I never thought about the fact that somebody has to do that.
Yeah, you just assumed like
because you can't eat the stems. You don't just serve stems with your.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's a person out there whose only job is to pick stems off of grapes.
If I could get someone else to pick those stems, I would, because I liked all the exciting stuff, making all the sauces and shit like that. Like. That was my jam.
Listening to this podcast and picking stems off of grapes, though, sounds like the dream job.
Listen, if you pick stems off of grapes off of stems, just pick the grape off. We don't need that garbage.
We don't need the grape. We just want the stem.
No, if that's what you do and you're listening to this podcast, you got this.
This.
We've all been there.
You're doing great.
I mean, half of this podcast has been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing great. I feel like we don't encourage our listeners to do for greatness enough. Hey, Deadpool, you're working hard. I'm proud of you. Get it.
Should we just go down the list of everybody in the Discord?
Let's do it again. We're doing this one more time.
One more time.
Okay, I'm just gonna start at the top. Hey Taco, I don't know if you still listen, but I love you.
We love you.
We need to hang out more because I feel like we never actually talk in person that much. Goon Daddy, I'm working on a project with you, so I actually talk to you pretty frequently.
I didn't get to do the interview with you, and I'm sad.
Yeah, Goon Daddy's he's a great guy. We're working on a reading of a graphic novel project together.
Ooh, that's lit.
Yeah, of the Adventure Zone graphic novels. I don't know if we're revealing that information yet or not.
You just bleep out the entire thing. It'll just be a long like beep.
ENCG and Metro Mike, where are you?
It's so true. I hung out with Ian after the recording, and then I hung out with him on his stream one time, and I haven't seen him since.
Ruthie, aka the Untold Sitcom, are you ever going to be on this podcast?
Probably not.
Tori Dawn 817, I forgot you were here. Let's see. Big Nose 27, I don't know you, but you seem lit.
I like your
Geeky
profile
Pink,
picture. You look like you're contemplating life.
Geeky Pink, you're the best mod on the planet.
We love you.
Kyle.
Get out of here, Kyle.
Don't insult Kyle.
Kyle.
Also, I couldn't hear your echo until you shouted Kyle. This will go on forever if we do this. We have like 60, 70 people in our Discord.
We def can't shout
and out. We are alienating all of our new listeners.
That's fine.
Both of our new listeners.
Listen, if you're listening to this podcast right now, all right, you're definitely doing at least one thing right in your life. Everything else could be falling apart. But you right now, listening to this podcast, you are making the right decision.
Oh yeah.
To listen to this podcast.
Speaking oh god.
It's so stupid.
Speaking of horrible things to say out loud for an audience of lots of people.
Please, let's continue this.
Hey, how about that drama with J.K. Rowling though?
Well, okay, fill me in on that, because to be honest, after the last drama with J.K. Rowling, with fucking the whole gay thing.
Sorry, we have to separate this by month, I guess, with J.K. Rowling.
Yes. I've not paid attention to her anymore. I'm just like, you know what, your books are great. You're kind of a shitty person. That's fine. That is what it is.
So basically, J.K. Rowling, there was this article that talked about people who menstruate.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
She was like, isn't there a word for that? She was basically implying that they should have just said women. And then a bunch of people were like, what about trans men? What about people like women who don't have periods? Are those women?
Right.
And literally in my mind, I would have instantly gotten over it if she tweeted just the words lol oops. Like,
right.
Because I could understand like that misunderstanding.
Right.
But then this woman fucking doubles down. I think she is still trying to defend herself, and not in the way of going, oh, you're right, I guess those count as well. She's just fucking going mad. I don't even know what the most recent things she said are, but like...
There was this whole thing with her and her claiming that Hermione was coded black too. Wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I was like, you just sit down. Sit
like,
down.
I don't know. Like, that was a while ago where she was like,
right.
Dumbledore's gay,
yes.
Hermione's black. Like,
yeah.
And again, my thought process was, if this was the original book, I would have zero complaints. But you're just kind of adding this now to get attention. Like,
right. I'm like, it's one thing for a book to be outdated. There's a lot of really good books that are outdated. Moby Dick is a great example of that. But, it's outdated. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's good literature. Harry Potter is good literature. You need to stop tarnishing it by trying to make it something that it wasn't. She needs to take her lemons and realize that she could have made a more full spectrum book, and she didn't. And and
that's fine.
And that's fine. It is what it is. The books were released so long ago.
Yeah.
Especially the early ones.
I just verified, I just looked at the actual description of Hermione in the book, and admittedly, it doesn't say her race, but like, I believe, if I recall, J.K. Rowling had some choice in the casting of the character.
Right. And even if she didn't, she could have made a statement when the movies came out. Right.
She waited until it was, like, primo for attention.
Right. She waited until the controversy would be popular enough to bring attention to her books again.
Yeah. And yeah, again, like, I wouldn't have a problem. Like, obviously, I wouldn't be upset if Hermione was black in the books.
Right.
Like, that doesn't... I don't care. She's a badass character. I mean,
for sure.
I really liked the portrayal in the films, and it would be weird to me if they had a different actor, but if I didn't know any better...
Right. Right. If you just read the books, you can code the character however you want. But if you watch the movies, Hermione is white in the movies.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is.
So this is where I get canceled. I always kind of get upset when the topic of, like, diversity comes up in storytelling, or just, like, anything for the most part. Because to me, it kind of comes down to intention. For example, I think it was Book of the Month. People are like, you don't have, like, diverse picks in your books. And, like, in the books that you send out and recommend or whatever. I don't know what Book of the Month is that well. This was something explained to me by my coworker who really likes books.
Right.
Anyway.
Because obviously you don't read, Kelvin.
I read some things, but I don't read that much. I'm much more of an audio drama kind of guy. But basically they were like, you don't pick, like, a lot of black authors and things like that. And they go, we mostly just pick the most popular books, dog.
Right.
And, like, that's one thing. Like, it's one thing if they were, like, trying to decide and one of them went, this is a black author, we shouldn't use it. But it's another thing if they're just picking books they like and it just so happens to not be that diverse. Like...
Right. I think that it's important to have diversity, or like do, like, special, like, review. If you're reviewing, let's say you're reviewing literature, you should be sampling from people who aren't, like, top 10, because the reality is that there's not a lot of black authors that are top 10 authors.
Yeah, it's a very white industry,
right,
unfortunately.
It's changing, but that's just how it is right now. But it's important to sample non-white author literature.
Yeah.
Non-male white author literature, specifically.
But no, generally speaking, I don't seek out diversity. I just kind of, like, I think if you don't actively avoid diversity and you, like, it'll just happen. Like, I used to do a lot of theater, and when we would cast people, we wouldn't, like, even if, as long as there wasn't a line in the show about their appearance that would be weird if they looked completely different than that, because you can get in legal trouble if you change, like, the words to a play that was, like, paid to license, unless their appearance was different than they actually say out loud at one point in the story. We would just go with whoever was the best at playing that character, and hence we had pretty naturally diverse, like, plays.
Right.
Like, there are some like you said, like, unfortunately, black publishers are less popular in general. And if you are just going and picking the most popular books every month, you are going to have a very non-diverse, array of books. But also, like, people are like, we need to cancel Book of the Month because they aren't being diverse. And I don't, like, again, I don't think they're intentionally choosing to not be diverse, if you know what I mean.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I do think that there's some argument for them to maybe,
go out of their way.
Right.
Yeah.
Go out of their way to do, especially in light of recent events, trying to stay, like politically sensitive, right? Like, socially sensitive, to be like, hey, top 10 books that we love from, non-white authors, right? Or people of color authors that we really like. I think it's good to make it like a statement to point out that, hey, we do appreciate diverse literature. It's just not usually what gets on the top forms because of, systematics that are in the way.
So how about them protests and riots, though?
Do we want to broach this subject?
I was thinking about it for a good 20 minutes before the episode.
I think we don't have a guest, so I think we can if we want to.
Yeah, because we are speaking purely of us and not in any way reflecting on a guest.
Right.
Because we talked about talking about it with the Cam Tunist episode, and Cam was even like, yeah, talk about anything you want, but I think both you and I were, like, still hesitant.
Yes, the last thing I want is to cause controversy with a creator that I really like, because one of the three of us, right, in the room said something that might have been controversial, Yeah.
So if you have heard enough about this, you want to just kind of have a funny or just hanging out podcast, skip to
41 minutes and 36 seconds.
And then by that point, we will have finished talking about it. But to kind of get into it, it's such like a complex issue.
It is.
But
it really is.
For me, a large part of not the actual like protests and riots, but the people talking about it, I feel like there are a lot of people who are assuming malice over ignorance when it comes to online discussions about it.
I agree.
Because from what my personal experience, most people who say like, oh, all lives matter, are not saying that to devalue the movement. They're saying it because they don't understand.
Oh, no, I agree.
Yeah. And I feel like that's not happening. I got in like an argument on TikTok the other day because someone like had a bunch of like quotes that in my personal experience have been mostly like out of like ignorance and not intending to be mean,
right,
or devalue. It was like I don't remember what the third one was, but it was, what about straight pride and all lives matter? And they were like, the audio was just like, you are a horrible person. And I was like, you shouldn't like insult the other person, even if their point of view is wrong, because that's not going to help your case. Explain why they're wrong and maybe you can get somewhere.
Right.
And then, of course, them and their fan base fucking went wild at me.
Well, I think too that at this point, right, we're in 2020. We have had a long history and lots of news on racial situations, on police brutality in general, not just when it comes to racial situations. So to be ignorant now, to be undereducated in these situations and what's happening in the world is a little, I don't want to say it's hard for people to be that way, but it shows that you don't care about what's happening in your country. Right.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, so
but I don't think we should be attacking those people. I agree. I think education is the solution, but I also think it's valid to be upset and in the heat of the moment get pissed off that somebody is not recognizing a real problem.
My case is, even if my point of views were wrong, for example, as I'm sure some of them are, if someone is going to insult me for having those point of views and not try to like educate me on it, I'm going to be less likely to switch sides. Right. Because I'm going to perceive subconsciously that other side as like rude and mean and unenjoyable. And that's kind of where I came from with that. Like, a lot of people are like yelling at me and stuff. I'm like, reminder, where I agree that these are bad points of views. We're on the same side. Like, and that just wasn't coming across. But like, I've started doing something. This is how I've done my part, because I have I'm done. I'm done posting about Black Lives Matter, the battle with police brutality and stuff, because that's just, I don't like doing that as my content. Right. I prefer to be someone who laughs and does the funny ha-has, but I've started to do this thing where I'm like, hey, if you think that you have a problem with Black Lives Matter, or you think that that minorities aren't getting a worse situation, if you think that, you know, any of those like, my DMs on Instagram are open. This is my Discord. Talk to me. I will have a one-on-one conversation with you and see if we can find some sort of common ground to help you understand. And I did that like yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, and I've already had like 6 conversations that have been like helpful. And I honestly think that is better than just posting about it on TikTok over and over again.
Oh, 100%. If we're talking about social media influence too, like, there's a lot of creators out there that are doing good, like really good at like, because if you're someone like Jacksepticeye or Connor Eats Pants, you can't talk to every single person. Like, your following is smaller that you could have, Instagram DMs with a lot of your followers and still keep up. I don't think that there's a perfect solution to that, but I think that what you're doing is the right move. I think that we need to educate people. And I think for me, I don't post a lot of content about Black Lives Matter or Pride Month or anything like that too, because people don't come to my channel for that, right? My Facebook is a completely political, like, trash dump of like all of my, hyper liberal beliefs. I don't put that on my Twitter, but I think it's important to point out that you have a stance, which you have obviously done by offering to educate people, which is really awesome.
Yeah. I think like there should be more just like one-on-one education than arguing on TikTok. I know that for some people that's not possible, and I'm not saying that like every creator should do this. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that posting the exact same like 1 minute tops video on TikTok will not be, the same talking points is helpful. after a certain point, because I've seen the exact same points like 20 times every time I go on my TikTok these days.
Right, and it's getting bulldozed with the same, information, the same audio over and over again is usually not going to help people. It's going to alienate them and be like, I don't understand what's happening, and now I'm getting frustrated because all I'm seeing is the same information.
Oh yeah, and I'm on the side of these people, and I'm getting frustrated. I can't imagine like being against and just done at this point.
Right.
Because like my TikTok these days is 40% content about Black Lives Matter, 40% content about TikTok supposedly censoring Black Lives Matter content, and then like 20% actual like content that I come to the platform for.
Right.
And yeah, it's insane. I still have things to say about TikTok censorship.
TikTok censorship is they are not a company for the people.
Yeah,
and that's their business.
I also don't believe it to a certain extent. I'm not saying that they don't completely, but I definitely think it's over-exaggerated.
Oh, for sure.
Because TikTok like creators do this thing where they never consider their followers to be part of the problem.
Right.
Ever. Because like I've been working on a test, and I've stopped it currently, but my results so far have been pretty effective, where I am posting about Black Lives Matter content with specific like controls, and I'm testing for specific variables. And yes, those videos are doing a lot worse than my normal videos, but they are also getting less people who are seeing them that are seeing them are liking them. So obviously the TikTok algorithm's not going to send them anywhere.
Right.
And I've had a few debates with people about this, because like someone was like, well, look at this person's channel. They get hundreds of thousands of views on their cosplay content, but when they weren't wearing cosplay and did some stuff about Black Lives Matter, they only got like 10,000.
Well, they were
and
in
I was like,
cosplay.
Yeah, I was like, I did the math. When I was doing the test for myself, I can see how many unique people are seeing my videos, not just how many views.
Right.
So my math was a little better, but I was like, yeah, they're like getting 1 in out of like 12 people seeing it or liking it, whereas their normal stuff is 1 in 4 out of every 4 people are liking it. Like, of course it's gonna, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like people don't consider like their fan base as part of the problem for TikTok.
If you're a full-time cosplayer, right? TikTok, your only content is cosplay, and you do one video without cosplay, people are just going to swipe past if they're not interested in anything but your cosplays. If you really want people to pay attention, you should do what you're trying to push in your cosplay, right? Like, present it to people in the way that they want to see your content anyway.
Technically speaking, the most effective way, and maybe not to get likes, but to get people to like get that watch time, would be to start a video as a normal cosplay lip sync, and then halfway through just stop, and do because then by that point you have the sunk cost fallacy, But that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. But like people, they're always like, when I'm not in cosplay, TikTok's algorithm can like tell, and they don't push my shit out. And I'm like, no, your fans don't want to see it, so the algorithm sees that less people are enjoying this and doesn't spread it around like they normally do.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot.
I think I think it is twofold, but I think that you're bringing a valid argument to the art. I think that they're censoring, and also that there's that gap of like viewers don't want to like stuff that they don't want to like. Yeah.
But to kind of recap, I guess we didn't really hit what we were trying to hit.
I know.
But like
we kind of circled around it.
I definitely think that police brutality is a problem, and that minorities really get the shaft with said problem. Get the shaft is not a serious enough term for what I meant.
Right.
But they like there's a lot going on, and even like there are people who are like, white people are the victims of brutality too, and I'm like, so stand up against brutality then. Then even if you don't care about, then you should still have a dog in this race.
Right. Your argument is, it doesn't just happen to black people. Well, then you should be concerned.
Then you should be against police brutality in general.
So what's your opinion on defunding the police?
I don't think we should completely get rid of the police.
I agree.
that's a much more complex thing that I have not done enough research to make a definitive opinion on, but I generally think that I am 1,000% for reforming the police system.
Right. I think abolishing the police is a mistake. I would not want to send
Yeah.
a social worker or a firefighter into a situation where somebody has a gun and is holding hostages, right? That is a police job. It should be handled by a de-escalation unit. It should.
Yeah.
But I think
whether it's
funding.
more training for a police, like whether it's because I mean it does not take as much as it should to become a police officer.
It does not. No, you literally you have more training to become anything, a teacher, a paramedic, a firefighter. Police the training is so limited.
I spent 3 years in college.
Right.
And I'm a gas station worker. Like,
Right. I think
I have encountered all of like 2 guns in my entire job. You carry 2 of them on your person as a cop.
Right. I think a lot of what the police can do or do can be done by people who are better trained for that, or put people who are trained to do that better into police roles.
Oh yeah, and I definitely think more severe punishment is important.
Oh yeah, we should get rid of this leniency on cops. I don't.
Oh
know, people are talking about how dangerous it would be to cop if you could get in trouble for shooting someone. I'm like, you should get in trouble for shooting someone, because 9 times out of 10 you have no reason to fire your weapon or take it out in the first place.
Yeah, and then like, what was I gonna say? I lost it. Give me a moment. Hold on.
Rebooting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the case in point I always hear with cops, and we all are upset by this. Like, oh, you know, most cops are good and are like fighting for justice, but there's just a few bad ones. And I'm like, yeah, this is not the job for a few bad ones.
Right.
Like,
and also,
I've had,
there's the bystander issue. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
If you kept up with the police brutality stuff, which I'm sure you have, Kelvin, look at
I
Buffalo.
literally made a video about it.
Buffalo is New York is a perfect example.
Yeah.
You have 2 bad cops and you have hundreds of good cops that don't do anything. They're not good cops, right?
Oh yeah.
If you stand there and let something happen, you are a bad cop. Period.
Yeah, no. I agree with that idea. So I made videos because I don't like the terms, like the actual term, not the idea behind it. I don't like the term all cops are bad.
Right.
Because I know there are cops out there that are fighting for justice.
Right, there are good cops.
They aren't bystanders. They are doing what they feel is best for the people, and for the most part is best for the people.
Right.
That aren't, like, you know, committing brutalities and things like that. And I think that spits in their face, like, but then someone was like, if you have one bad cop and 1,000 people who aren't, 1,000 cops who aren't doing anything about it, then you have 1,001 bad cops. So I literally fucking did the math, where I was like, okay, so there are 2,000 reports of police brutality a year, but everyone believes that is an underreported number.
Right.
So let's just beef it up a little. I was doing very generous math. Mm-hmm. I was like, let's beef it up a little. I was like, let's times that by 5. Like 4 out of every 5 police brutality cases aren't reported. Sounds like a good number to me.
It's probably somewhere like that.
Yeah, so that's 10,000 police brutalities a year. To maximize their point, that was made, let's say that every brutality is done by one cop, each, like, one brutality per cop, and that each of those cops is in a different department,
right,
like a different police department. That way, that increases, which is not how it works. Police brutalities are a lot of one cop doing the same thing, and they happen a lot in specific departments. But to maximize it, I was like, okay, so then there are 17,000 police departments. It was 17,928 or something like that, police departments. So that still means slightly less than half, in worst case scenario, of police departments would not have a bad cop that they are just letting do its thing. And then someone made the case of, like, you know, that's not, brutalities are not the only, like, abuse of police, like, bad cops, like, you know, taking bribes and things like that.
Taking bribes, you know.
I felt like my shitty, like, my very generous math encompassed that in a way, but
yeah, and I think too that something that's important to recognize too is a lot of people are arguing, well, my police station has never had a bad cop situation, like, we don't have that. And I'm like, okay, but, like, what is your population?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's still the argument.
Yeah.
You know, your math, I like your math. I like how you did that. That's good.
Yeah, I think that was a very generous way
right.
to do it.
People who reject the idea that there is a racial component. I think that a lot of it comes to, well, what about if you look at that, it's not one cop in every precinct, right? It's like 5 cops in one precinct. And where is that precinct located? Well, what if it's located in a black neighborhood, right?
Yeah, and they're doing most of the brutality.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just kind of, it's shitty. Like, it's a shitty situation in general. But I think that there definitely needs to be reform to the police system that allows people like this to get somewhere in the forest and then continue to be in the forest after they do shit like this.
Yes, that's a big thing too. I think that the punishment for negligence as an officer should be a lot higher. You see all these police brutality situations, and a lot of them have no criminal charges against the police officer because they're protected. They get fired. Yeah. And then what do they just go back out into the world and just go work somewhere else, right? Like that feels wrong to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's my take. And if you disagreed with any of the things we said here, that's fine. Like, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
Like,
if you want to talk about it, my DMs and I think Elvin's DMs are open, and I'm willing to have a constructive conversation about, you know.
This is the worst time to do an Instagram plug, but in this case it's okay.
I think it's
Hit
working.
me up at True Nude Dude. You don't need to follow me. We just need to talk.
Yeah, you don't have to follow me either.
Anyway, let's go to ad break. I'm going to put the time code to be at the beginning of this ad so that we've tricked people into listening to our advertisements.
That sounds perfect.
So, while we have you here, welcome to the Lonely Boy ad break. For the first time in a few weeks, it's both of us here. Say hi, Zoe.
It's an ad break. We're not sellouts quite yet, but we want to be.
Yeah. We are still sponsored by onlycams.cam. That's onlycams.cam, in case anyone got confused.
Yeah.
The premier place to get portfolios of OnlyCam Tunist. Hopefully one day we'll get some more cams on there, but for now, it's lovely work. Use promo code LONELY at the non-existent checkout to get 0% off your non-existent transaction. That's onlycams.cam. Use code LONELY.
You know, I tried that. I tried using the code LONELY.
Did you get 0% off your non-existent purchase?
I did, and it got to me right away. It was a beautiful.
Do you think we could convince Cameron to do because I know the website he used to make his websites. I won't say it in case they ever want to sponsor us, but they will allow you to make like onlycam.com/ and it will go to a specific page on their website.
You think we can get him to do it?
Yeah, we can get him to do onlycams.cam/lonelyboyhour or just lonely. See if we can get.
That'd be perfect.
And it's just like a nice little message.
Yes, like thank you for your purchase of nothing with your 10% with your 0% off with the code LONELY.
Anyway, guys, while we're here, though, we don't have any ads. We don't have any, like, shout-outs or anything. I really want to, I want to do, and we haven't done it yet, I want to do you listen to any podcasts from the Maximum Fun Network? The Adventure Zone's one of them.
Yes.
The Jumbotrons where they just, talk to, they send out, personal messages and stuff to listeners.
Yes.
I would love to do that if people want to email us about it, or just actual advertisements for actual businesses and stuff. You can do so by emailing us at lonelyboyhour@gmail.com. Zoe, don't you dare. And
gmail.com.
I hate you. Anyway, guys, that's where you can contact us. And guys, subscribe to our Patreon. You get good stuff. You get untitled bonus show. You get episodes a day early. Your name is on a screen at one point.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right.
Can you imagine having your name on a screen?
For $1, your name is on a screen.
You can't be that
and
nice. You
get access to a Patreon-only section of our Discord. Again, Deadpool has a direct line.
Deadpool literally has a room called Deadpool's Room.
And we are the only, it's him and us and the guests if they want to. Like, he has a direct line. I'm this close to just giving him a phone number that calls both Zoe and I. Like,
It's just
like a phone. It's a phone with one button, and you lift up the little handle because it's an old phone. You push the lonely button, and both of our phones ring in a conference call.
That sounds like a merch item right there.
That would be the worst merch item. I'm just like, because I've mentioned vaguely wanting to take. Let's get out of the ad break before we do this.
Yeah, just.
Anyway, thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of the show. So anyway, let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
And but anyway, as I was saying, that'd be awful because I've talked about wanting to do like more social media as a living,
yeah,
and it
right.
would be so sucky if we were recording the podcast for like the D&D podcast, and all of a sudden Zoe and I have to go real quick to answer a call from someone who spent
in the middle of a recording,
yeah.
just like, hold on, my lonely boy hour phone is ringing.
Hold on, the lonely phone.
The phone is ringing. I would never answer it. I don't answer my phone in general anyway. In fact, I missed a call while we were recording, and I have no idea if it was the interview or not.
Oh no!
It's fine. I'll just call him back after this. But I love the idea of giving people my phone number and being like, yeah, you pay me monthly, so now you can have my phone number, and then never answer it.
Ooh, that'd be great. Actually, I'd do that.
Like, no, it was just a symbolic gesture. It wasn't you thought you could actually. Funny, you thought you could actually get a hold of me at any time.
Oh, haha, fucking gay. Sorry. But no, it is a stressful thing to try to make the shift to full-time social media.
Oh, I can imagine.
You still don't have a job.
I still don't have a job. So
you're kind of doing that.
But the reality is that I don't really make anything, right?
Yeah,
I make rent. That's what I make, $200.
I got my rent is nowhere near it's so much higher.
Oh, we share a smart. Like I said, my office is a dining room.
Yeah. Anyway, but so I am working on so many projects. I'm working on a Patreon. I am working on homebrew content that you can either get through the Patreon or through my website. I'm working on a website.
Nice.
I am working on a YouTube video to start a YouTube series about D&D. I'm working on writing for the D&D podcast. I am 4 streams away from Twitch affiliate. I've almost already made the hours, and I'm definitely getting the views and followers. I'm working on affiliate right now, then partner. I am just fucking going wild. Like, my current plan right now, and I don't know if I'm going to do it, is to I want to drop the YouTube video, the Patreon, 3 subclasses on the website and the Patreon, and then do a Twitch and TikTok stream the entire day, all on the same day. That's the plan to get started.
That's a lot of content.
Oh yeah, and then also dropped the first 3 episodes of the D&D podcast on, because I want to do multiple episodes on the first day so you can insta binge the show.
Brilliant. That's genius, because people who wants to listen to 1 episode of a D&D podcast,
especially at the beginning where you're not invested yet.
Right.
And so the plan right now that I have is to like record like 5 episodes of the D&D podcast that we're working on that still doesn't have a name. Before we actually release even one of them, that way I have a hearty backstock, release 3 episodes all at once, and then release the next 2 episodes over time, but by then we can already start recording again.
Right.
But that way I have plenty of time to work on these, because I have plans, and I don't know how intense I'm going to go with it, but I'm definitely going to write at least some of the music. I'm going to add some more like actual like sound effects and stuff, flair, like I do at certain dumb points in this podcast.
You just gotta make it a full experience with those sound effects, and
Yeah. I have a voice actor lined up to do the intro to every episode where they explained what happened the last time, as if it was a children's story that they are reading to their kids. Like, it's so cute. I'm so ready. I wrote the intro for the show already, and
Brilliant.
I will send it to you after this if you're interested.
Oh, absolutely.
I could just do a little dramatic reading of it here either way.
Either would be perfect.
Just to do a little ad, I'll even use the music. It's going to be a little different in the final cut, but let's see if I can do this shit from memory.
I'm ready.
The sun rises over the Emerald Sea. As the sun pierces through the fog, you see a large building off in the distance. On it, you see hundreds of people walking, talking, and smiling. As you approach closer, you look down at your runestone. 30 minutes until opening ceremonies. This is a convention for those who have found a way to communicate in ways people previously thought possible. You smile and you exit, entering the convention. But this isn't a story about you. In fact, you didn't even know this morning you'd meet the 3 most important people to ever exist. And then I would introduce all of you guys.
Oh, I'm so hype.
Right? And that's the official ad for this.
Oh, that's so hype. Oh, and the music is perfect. All right.
Right?
All right, Kelvin. What are we starting? I'm ready. I'm ready.
I got Zoe ready as fuck.
I'm so hype.
Let me stop the music.
Wow. Did you, we're leaving that in, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm leaving
listen.
that in. That's an ad for the podcast, for the D&D podcast.
People listening, I am so giddy right now. That got me so fucking excited for D&D. Y'all need to fucking listen. y'all need to get hype because this is gonna be so lit. I don't even have words. That was really good. I'm sorry.
Well,
I get so nerdy over D&D. It's a problem.
Zoe.
Woo. Okay.
Woo! Woo-wee, Rick.
Woo-wee, Rick. I don't know. Listen, do you watch Rick and Morty? Wait a minute.
I have not watched past season 3.
You need to catch up. It's so good. I've watched it so many times since I was introduced to it just recently.
Yeah. Ever since like Siobhan Thompson was added to the writing team, I've been excited.
It's good.
But I have not actually listened to it yet, watched it yet, because I don't have a lot of time to watch TV.
Oh, I have so much time. I have nothing but time.
Where is it available? Where can I find it? Do I have to fucking go on like Kiss Cartoon or some shit?
You can find everything up to the most recent season on Hulu.
Okay.
And then you can get the most recent season that's literally coming out like day by day, right? It's free on Adult Swim.
Okay.
But only until like it's all run through, and then they're like, you have to wait for it to come on Hulu, or you have to pay for it with your cable. I don't know if you have cable.
Okay. I don't. Look, here's the deal. Here's how I feel about TV shows and movies at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney Plus. I also have Dropout.
You have Disney Plus?
Oh yeah, I got a yearly pass. It's so good. Listen, I will defend it.
I refuse to get it.
Yes, it's another streaming service,
It is.
but they have a quality product and they know it. I've been
Right.
watching all of the Marvel movies in chronological order. That's what I've been working on right now.
I've been tempted
like
to get
a
it.
fucking dweeb.
But
It's not that expensive.
I don't want to give Disney more money.
Listen, Disney is going to get your money.
Somehow they are, I know.
We are not sponsored by Disney Plus, and Disney Plus would never sponsor us, so I can be candid about this. Disney will get your fucking money.
All money ends up at Disney.
Listen.
Somehow.
Somehow
it all ends up at Disney. Or Amazon.
Anyway, but no, that's my deal. I have 5 streaming services. Oh, and I have Verve.
I love Verve.
If you do not have it on one of those services, you are asking me to bootleg it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You are begging. Listen, I have given you every chance,
right,
except for cable. And guess what? All of that together is cheaper than cable.
Oh, it is. It's so much cheaper than cable. I love streaming services.
Especially because I bundled my Hulu with Disney Plus.
Oh, so. Nice. Do you pay for ads on Hulu? Do you have ads?
No, fuck that.
I hate ads.
Listen, so here's the tea. At my job, I see the same 8 commercials. They'll change one out every month or so. I see the same 8 commercials on loop all day. I would rather pay $1 billion than see another. I even have YouTube Red. I don't want a commercial. Yeah, well, because I don't have ad block on my phone. I have it on my computer. But like that's the way I can still support the creators.
Right. I just watch ads because I don't want to pay for YouTube Red, and I refuse to as somebody who's living off of advertisements on Twitch, I don't want to take away somebody's revenue by blocking ads.
Oh yeah, I don't actually watch Twitch on my computer ever, so that's fine. I watch it on my Xbox or my phone, so I
Nice.
still get those ads. But no, I was like, I don't want to see another ad, but I don't want to screw over creators who are relying on ad money, so I
Right.
just got YouTube Red.
So you pay for YouTube Red. It works.
Yeah,
It works.
because they get paid by YouTube Red from YouTube Red viewers by watch time.
Right. And it works.
Yeah,
It's better than no ads, but it's way better than blocking ads.
blocking ads and hurting those creators
For sure.
'Cause, man.
You know, we don't
Speaking
have
of ads,
advertisements.
are you two partnership on Twitch yet?
I am not. Partner is really hard to reach.
I'm getting partner without you. Then I'm going.
Good luck.
I was going
so
to
Kanoa
do-
Daddy has
I-
been trying to get partner for a while and still doesn't have partner.
Oh, he doesn't have partner
No,
yet?
partner is hard to get on Twitch.
Getting partner.
I believe in you. If you get partner, you should drop me some help to get partner.
Okay. It's a race to partner.
It's not a race to partner. I will lose that race every day of the week.
You Twitch stream regularly. I Twitch stream sporadically.
I'm going to be Twitch streaming sporadically when I get this job, though.
Yeah, right now, just when I have a morning off, I'll do a TikTok live stream where I advertise the Twitch and I'll Twitch stream.
That's genius. That's what Mike
mostly
does.
Overwatch. Yeah, mostly Overwatch. But I was going to today. I was thinking about starting a Stardew Valley run of
Ooh.
Community Center in 1 year.
Nice.
Because I did that thing. I do this thing with a few games, and Stardew Valley is definitely one of them, where I won't play it for a long time, and then I will play it continually
binge it.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm on a binge right now.
That's where I'm at with Animal Crossing.
Oh, I still don't have a Switch.
Oh, listen, Haley bought me a Switch for my birthday. The only game I have at Animal Crossing, and I have logged too many hours on that game. Too many.
Two of my friends have implied they're together. They're not just two different friends. Have implied that they are getting me a Switch for my birthday, so I'm waiting till after my birthday to buy a Switch.
Nice.
In case they do, because that would just fucking suck if they like already ordered it and I go, yeah, I bought one. Like,
That's a whole mood. That's a whole mood. I can tell
They
you
have n-
honestly that I almost spent my last dollars on the Zelda game, on Zelda, but I didn't spend my last dollars on Zelda, and I'm glad I didn't.
I love Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you're talking about Link's Awakening, but
Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild.
I love Breath of the Wild. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So I would spend my money on Breath of the Wild if I was me. But I'm not. You're not me. You're Zoe.
I have to wait.
You have to wait.
I have to wait until I have a steady income. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
fiscally responsible like a real adult, which is disgusting. It makes me want to throw up just saying it, but you know.
Yeah. But no, I don't want my friends, both of them, whenever I mention like how everyone else is playing Animal Crossing without me because I don't have a Switch.
Right.
Both of them in separate occasions have gone, well, your birthday's almost here. Like over and over again. So now I don't expect them to get me a Switch because that is way too nice of them.
Well.
But in case they are, I'm waiting.
Well, if they are getting you a Switch, I would recommend them getting you the regular Switch, not the Switch Lite, because then,
yeah.
Kelvin, you can stream it on Twitch.
Yeah. Speaking of
Spend
which,
money to make
I
money.
just had a realization, and I don't know if it's true, so I'm gonna check. 1 second. Hold on. Let me get my calendar up.
Is it the eve of our first podcast?
No. Okay. For a second, I thought this episode was going to be coming out on my birthday.
Oh.
It's not. It's coming out exactly a week before my birthday.
Well, we almost recorded on my birthday.
Yeah, I know, because our birthdays are so similar.
I know.
We'll have to do like a 30-minute bonus episode that drops on my birthday.
That would be genius.
Where we both just get drunk or something. Get Dadley in on the bonus, but not the actual.
Dadley's
No.
already been in an episode.
No, he is not. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. That was. I had a
We've
cold
only-
that day, so I sounded weird. You're right.
Yeah, you sounded weird and you changed your name to Bradley.
Yeah. It was for a
day.
bit.
It was a really bad cold.
And
It was so cold. Yeah.
I was delusional even.
Yeah. I started talking about things like your kids that you don't even have.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, sometimes I just get like that. It's the age, I think. 24
Yeah.
it's getting to me.
I'm about to turn 22. I always forget that I'm the youngest one in our friend
I'm
group.
old. A lot of our friends are younger than me.
I don't know. In my mind, you're younger than me, and I
'Cause I
don't
act
mean
like a
that in a
child.
mean way. Yeah, I didn't mean to mean that, but that's honest. In
I
my mind,
do.
you're not like very younger than me. In my mind, you're like 6-7 months younger than
I
me.
am immaturely wise. That's what I like to say. I am so immature, but at the same time, very wise.
But yeah, like, same.
Same.
But like, you're 24. Bradley's like, what, 26 now? Is he also 24? He might also just be 24.
Bradley's my age. Bradley's not older than me, I don't believe.
Yeah, and then Kate is, I want to say, 23. And then I'm 21, and I miss you. I'm gonna censor that. I'm so sad.
What did I say earlier? Get the sap out of here, Kelvin.
Get that
We're not being sappy here.
I don't know if that ended up in the episode or not,
Well, that's
Zoe.
fine.
Fight me.
I'm referencing it anyway.
Okay, I guess I'll put it in the episode.
There's gonna be so many bleeps of this.
Zoe just fucking forces things into the episode like this. She wills bits into existence.
I just like to make editor Kelvin's life really difficult.
It's really an issue.
It's it works.
You work sometimes.
No, not usually.
Not all the time, but on occasion.
On occasion.
You maybe declined an interview for this podcast today, so that was exciting.
I know. Yep.
But I think it is time
to wrap
once
up
again. I like how Wrap Up City became like an actual thing we say.
Oh, it really is. Can you make that a location in the D&D world, please?
Wrap Up City.
Can it just be like a giant like mall market or something that we go to go shopping?
I only have like 3 towns built so far. I have the town of Justin, which is where the convention is happening. I can't remember what Bradley named his small town. Apparently, I now have the town of Wrap Up City, and I have the town of Unushatka.
Unushatka.
I have spelled it out for you before, but
oh yes, that's right. I remember now. We haven't named my town yet, have we?
No.
I don't really have a town. I just live in the mountains.
Yeah, I need to figure out more about your life. But I've also like fully planned out how the goat's gonna work mechanically, because you guys don't have a healer, so your goat's gonna be a healer. Welcome.
That is the power of love and friendship shall heal your wounds.
Well, yeah, no, that was the thing. I was thinking about it, and I was like, they don't have a healer, and I honestly don't think Zoe would like use a Moor in combat as like a ramming tool.
Oh no, for sure. Bai would never do that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so I was like, maybe if I make like a support goat.
Support goat. I love it.
Yeah. Hear me?
Oh,
you cut out too. Welcome back.
You cut out for a second there.
But
welcome back.
Yeah, and then. Oh my goodness, my job is so stressful. Let's wrap up.
Okay, Wrap Up City. Don't forget to add that into the D&D world. Wrap Up City.
The final. Sorry, I got a stressful text. Anyway, guys, we actually have a voicemail at our disposal today. Zoe, you're going to be excited.
I'm ready.
Because I hope this is the right link. We got a voicemail from Google about all the emails you send them. Not really, but enjoy.
Yes, this is Steve from YouGal. I'm calling on behalf of the emails that have been sent to gmail.com. I hear they're from your podcast, Mr. Noodles. I don't know how to say that. I'm just gonna say Zoe and Noodles. We would like for you to stop sending people to the Gmail and go directly to your own inbox. Thank you.
That's genius. Are we gonna get legal threats from Google now? I'm ready. Keep sending your messages to Gmail. Everyone. Don't worry, just gmail.com. Kelvin. I have been left to my own devices. I have been stranded in the abyss of the city of Wrap Up City. Take me home, Wrap Up City, to a place I fucking wrap up. Well, I'll just wrap up on my own. Okay, this is perfect. I have all of the skills. All right, pinned messages, great. So thanks for the voicemail, Google. Appreciate it. Perfect. I think we plugged our Patreon in the ad, but hey, if you want some content, you should go to patreon.com/lonelyboyhour. You can get like your name at the end of episodes, because who doesn't like their name on the end, you know, in Times New Roman font. I don't even know if that's the font we use. Whatever font we use. At least it's not Comic Sans. It better not be any kind of sans. Anyway, you can find me at all the places you find Trash Z, except my Twitter, which is OD Trash, because OG Trash is the only thing that I can fucking find. It's fine. Kelvin's stuff is either the Nude Dude or the Noodle Doodler. True Nude Dude. I don't remember his stuff. I don't follow him anywhere, so it doesn't matter anyway. We have podcast music. I can never remember who it's by and what it's for, but it's great. It sounds wonderful and it's beautiful. Song recommendation. That's a great. I should have planned for this. I never do. I'm sure Kelvin was gonna recommend some epic cinematic music from a Marvel movie. It has to be something like that. But I'm gonna recommend "Pretty Girl" by Clario, because you know sometimes you just need to listen to a song that fuels your spite. So get tested and hydrate or dihydrate. All right, don't turn into a prune. We'll see all of you next episode. Get hyped for that D&D. I'm so ready for D&D. Y'all don't even understand.